We got him. We got him. Excuse me, sir. We have a question for you.
Yes. Can you complete the sentence? It's okay to kill a baby in the womb when?
You haven't asked me. You haven't.
Can you complete the sentence? It's okay to kill a baby in the womb when?
This is not a sentence I would ever say.
When is it okay to kill a baby in the womb?
So now you've asked me a question.
Yes.
When is it okay to kill a baby in the womb?
Correct.
Well, I don't have a womb, so I can't really make a judgment on that.
But it says you're pro-choice. The
take-
women who are choosing have a womb.
Taking a look at you, you don't have a womb either.
I do not.
So really, what gives you the right to say?
I know women who have wombs, and what gives them the right to kill a baby in it?
Well, it's a matter of opinion whether that's a baby or not.
It's a baby.
Might I ask you a question, sir?
Okay. It's not a scientific. It's not.
We have another question.
Might I ask you a question? If a baby is born, once it comes out of the womb, would you say when the baby is born, and it is in a physical sense in our world, that it would be okay to kill it after it is born, naturally? Would you say that would be okay?
No.
Okay. So what separates that from before the baby is born, except a physical factor? It is housed within a woman's body. However, it is in and of itself its own entity. The only thing that changes between birth and conception is the place in which the baby is.
It's growth.
It's geography.
It is in the womb. It is its own entity. It is a baby. It is a child. It is a human. And all that changes after birth is the placement of this child.
Let me ask your name.
Reynaldo.
Sorry?
Reynaldo.
Ronaldo. My name is Chris. Good
Pleasure
to
to
meet
meet
you. You have a very articulate opinion, which you have voiced to me in a very intellectual way. And I applaud you for it. I think it's great. But the key word in what I just said was opinion. The statement you uttered to me was an opinion. I have my own opinion. Try not to get behind me here. It's a little claustrophobic. We all have our different opinions, and that is the entire point of my argument, that we can have our different opinions, and that you do not have the right to force your opinion on other people.
Absolutely. That is a fundamental right of the Constitution.
So you agree with me?
I do. I agree with you that it is your right to have your opinion.
Thank you very much. And the political rights derived from those opinions.
the facts?
Absolutely.
Here is the facts as I know them, the best I can know them at this time.
School me.
When you have an egg and you have a sperm, they're joined together. Apparently, I'm guessing, you all claim that new creature, that thing, is an independent human being with its own political rights. I personally disagree with that. Other people disagree with that. And they can decide what to do with that thing based on their own opinion.
But if it's a human, you agree that all human beings deserve equal
Look at my
rights?
sunglasses.
All human beings.
All human beings,
Do they deserve human rights?
they deserve rights.
Every human being does.
Every human being
So
deserves
if you can disprove when a human being is not a human being, then this would be okay. If you can disprove that a human being does not begin at conception, aka fertilization.
The burden is not on me here. The burden is on you to prove that it begins at conception.
Wait, oh, there are totally different. I can back that up. Okay. I do a lot of research on this.
That's very good. Research is great.
My birth mother was 16 years old when she got pregnant, and she wasn't sure who the father was because she had a bunch of one-night stands, and like my life was based on money at that point. Like she just didn't know what was going on with her life, and for some reason she chose to give birth to me, and you know that's why abortion's so close to my heart, because statistically speaking, since 50% of all teenagers choose to have an abortion, I should be dead. And my question for you is that when that embryo was formed, like if you think about it, like in class we're learning about how they can take an embryo and they can give it nutrients and they can not raise it to be a child, but they can raise it to be cells. That embryo, like stem cells, that's life. And that's where it comes in, like, that's life, because it can stem off to other things. It can grow, it can fertilize, it can produce cells. And so that's where my facts come in, that is life. Because it can do all those things.
There is no question that it's alive. Nobody doubts that. The question is it an individual human being with individual political rights? This is a totally irrelevant argument because you're not understanding what it's like to have a different opinion.
Oh, I understand the opinion.
As a different human being, my name is Chris. Hello, everyone. I have a. Thank you. Thanks, Chris. To meet you. My opinion is different from yours.
yeah, that's
My
fine.
opinion is different from those doctors.
Have a different
And
opinion.
you know what? There are millions of people,
they're an
millions
educated
of
opinion.
Americans who say that their own uterus is their own right, and they have total rights over their own uterus.
Okay, Chris, would you agree that every human being on Earth is caused by the zygote?
Caused by the zygote?
Every human being on Earth was once a zygote. Would you agree with that?
I would. Is this a fake microphone? By the way? Considering it's a fake microphone, maybe you could keep it a little further away from my face.
Would you agree that every human being is
The best $2.
I would agree that every human being was once a zygote.
Okay. So destroying that zygote would be destroying an eventual human life.
Not necessarily. Many zygotes never become human beings because they get, they get flushed out or whatever the medical term is. Miscarriage, or not even miscarriage. Sometimes they're not even implanted on the uterus. Conception begins
So the
before,
baby- so the baby
before
dies.
implantation on the
Natural.
uterus, and sometimes it just comes
So
out.
the baby dies naturally instead of killing it.
It depends on the cells die naturally.
The cells that make up an eventual baby.
You can't say eventually. I mean, we're all eventually going to be dead, but you can't say I'm eventually going to be a doctor because I'm probably not. But I could be. Does that mean that, I mean, what does that mean?
Well, the
Eventuality.
zygote's not going to eventually